Hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm back with a reading today. Today I want to talk a little bit about some changes that I feel within the collective consciousness. We are approaching the Libra Full Moon, and that's when we will be kind of tested. Our hearts will begin to be more tested. That's what I feel. Because right now it's almost as if part of our purpose is learning how to keep a very light heart. Even though we're facing a lot of challenges, destruction, death in the external world, is really learning how to balance that out with inviting in a lot of, rejuvenation inside, so fresh energies, young energies, innocent energies, so that we create a kind of a balance through this time. And so that's why there is a lot of shifting and changing to the available timelines right now, meaning that we can start to link up to feelings, really, because timelines in many ways, timelines are like feelings. It's through our feelings that we connect to timelines. And so if you think about it in that way, it might be easier. It's like observe the feelings within yourself and see if you can figure out what kind of characters they are linked to. And then you can see whether this character that they are linked to are something that you would like to play out. So it's kind of like that. That's maybe an easier way of explaining it. And so it's almost like right now we are moving into times that will give us access to a lot of new characters, a lot of new archetypes, a lot of new feelings. And these feelings are just lighter and just more awake. They have more energy, more abundance. It's very beautiful energy coming in, if we're able to find it. So that's what I want to explore in this reading. Let's just start with pulling a card. I was going to talk about some other things, but now I feel like I'm just going to pull a card first. So let's see what comes through. I'm using this mystical shaman oracle deck again. Wow. Okay, so underneath the deck is the giveaway card. This has come through recently as well, and I feel like this is exactly what I spoke about, that there are a lot of these new types of light, new timelines open to us. Ooh, and with these cards coming out, it's like the rattle. Yeah, this gives me the chills. This is like a war energy. It's like, oh, this is not a nice energy. This is like, the destructive energies are, I feel like they might be playing themselves out more because there's still so many people on earth that are not, they're not even open to these higher timelines. And so it's like their only path, their only timeline is this, is to stay in the current system, and the current system is starting to break down. And so this is kind of like a challenging energy, but with the, actually this goes with this card, I feel, fire. Because the thing with these old timelines is that the way that they in a way trap us is through igniting our fire. And so we feel like, we flame up and we become so certain of ourselves, and we're just like, I know what the truth is. That's the type of energy, and it really works through our own desire. I don't know how well you know different types of energies, but it's like, the darker and the denser energies, they actually really get you through your desire. It's like the devil, it's the temptation. And so they make us feel like really fired up and just like excited and just like ready to go fuck some things up. You know, it's that type of energy. You know, it's like a huge dick that's just ready to go and fuck things up and be like the big man and woo woo woo. It's all of that type of energy. And this is a trap right now. It's gonna lead us into a trap. That's what I'm feeling. And the trap is the dark feminine. You know, and right now the dark feminine is death. She is gonna break down all of these dicks, you know. So that's something to be cautious of, I think, within ourselves. When you feel that type of like fire energy and just like being very desire driven and thinking that, yeah, I'm the man, you know, that's from my perspective not a very abundant and safe timeline at this point. But with the Andean crosshair, it's coming through that there are a lot of other timelines as well available to us. It's just about kind of zooming out and observing our own states and really, you know, questioning our own states, understanding them before we just allow them to drive us forward, you know, blindly, kind of like an animal, you know. So let's see, let's pull some more tarot cards as well here to see what comes through. Wow, underneath the deck when I pulled up the deck was like the Justice. So yeah, this Libra full moon, it really has some power to it. It really has some gravity to it. Ooh, it's just a lot of energy coming through. I feel like I'm shaking almost. So let's see. I kind of think I want to focus on this Andean cross right here. This is like a portal. And now underneath the deck is death. It's like a portal because I feel like this Andean cross, it's important also to learn how to work with the energy of death. You know, it's important we cannot fear our inner dark feminine, you know, the energy of death, because that energy is the energy of actually digesting what has been. And so if we're able to work with that type of energy, we build a lot of light actually within ourselves, because when we digest, when we break things apart and like dig around, we learn new connections, we see patterns, you know, we understand why things have been the way that they have been. And that builds our light. And it's also kind of like a prerequisite for being able to forgive and let go and move on. At least that's what I find within myself. Like if I can understand, then it's kind of easy to forgive. Then forgiveness just comes naturally after that. And so it's something about that as well, I fear, like the willingness actually to work cautiously. I want to say like cautiously with the dark feminine, because again, you know, the power of the dark feminine, she will ignite this kind of like vampiric dick energy within us. You know, that's what the dark feminine does. She's very tempting to these types of energies, you know, these war energies, very masculine energies. And so yeah, it's kind of like it's a time that tests our integrity, because if we get too fired up from working with the dark feminine, and too like, oh, I'm powerful, you know, then we fall. So it's something, again, just to be aware of and pay attention to within your own self, and kind of experiment with, I guess. Because in a way we all have to learn this to move on to the next chapter. That's what I'm feeling. We all have to overcome these two archetypes because they are kind of like the foundation of the old system. And so to move into the new, we have to kind of first walk into the old and allow these energies to kind of come through our body and then choose to overcome them. That's what I'm feeling. You know, it's not enough just to run away because you haven't really overcome anything. If you just run away and block energies out, it's just like you're just running, moving, but you haven't overcome. So there's something about that. So the Five of Swords are coming out. And then the Page of Cups. And also underneath there is the Six of Cups. So it's something interesting also happening here in regards to, I feel, relationship, and I'm hearing burning bridges. Because it's also like, if people around you are in this energy of just being very driven by their inner desire, what they want, and also their inner perception of what they think is right, but if they're not really tuned into their emotional body, into their humility, they don't take other people into consideration. You know what I mean? Because their mind is just so gassed up with their own desire. So that's all that they can see. They just want to push forward. And so I feel like these people, it's very difficult to make these people understand. It's kind of like they need to fall. They need to experience loss and experience people walking away from them to understand their own behavior. It's like their fire has to go out. And that happens through winter, you know, through losing the things around you that you so surely thought that you deserved, you know, because that's the energy of this masculine, this old masculine archetype. It's like it thinks that it deserves so many things just because I am, you know, the best. But it doesn't understand that we are moving into times where it's more about holding the energy, the feeling, the vibe of that which we want to attract. So that's what I'm feeling. So I feel like, don't be afraid to kind of walk away from people like that for a bit. But it's almost like if you can do it with a light heart, and if you can do it like with the idea that, you know, the earth will teach them, you know, the dark feminine will teach them. She comes through the earth, and so you don't have to worry about their path right now. They will learn if they have the ability to. And then that allows you maybe to keep more of a light heart and to keep also the door open for them to return potentially later than if they have learned, you know? So I feel like that type of energy of just lightheartedness and faith in the dark feminine is actually going to be very protective of you as an individual. It's almost like you step into the womb of the feminine. And in this case, it's the divine feminine. Because it's like, if you're willing to be guided, if you're willing to listen, if you're willing to temper your inner fire and your desire based on your guidance, then you will be more and more protected right now. That's what I'm feeling. And with the Six of Cups, it's like things will just start to magically appear for you. It's like out of nothing. You see, because the Six of Cups is like these flowers just grow from the water. And so that's kind of like a symbolism of when things manifest from the subconscious, just like suddenly magically appearing. And so it's something like that. it's like playing with the synchronicity and with the fairies and with nature, and really wanting also to help other life. Like for instance, like if you see a plant who's thirsty, it's like, yeah, I can give it some water. That type of thing is also very, it's a silly example, but it's like, it's very, it blesses you, it blesses us because we choose to bless other life. So it's something about that. It's two very different types of vibes, isn't it? Like this one who's like the expert, knows it all, just very desire driven, and then the other one is very gentle, very mindful, and just willing to listen and sense and learn and help where it can. But it's not like dependent on being a helper either, you know. It's willing to walk away if it needs to. It's just more fluid. That's what I feel. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I think that you see these two timelines that are open a little bit better. So I think I'm just gonna end the reading here. Yeah, I hope you're doing good. Take care. Bye for now.